like a mountain that cannot be moved. Just as an eagle, I found freedom in you, a peace which brings me through. Deserving of worship in spirit and truth, the light of life shone through.
What's
My
up?
greatest gift was you. Father, your love never ceases, even in the midst of my darkest days. Love that flows like a river, never seems to run dry. So if all the perfect my thoughts, I'll raise a hallelujah. So if all the perfect my thoughts, I'll raise a hallelujah. You're in my house, the ways of your past don't define you. Far from
Definitely are. What's up, Audrey? What's up, Cassandra? What's up, Lee Bowen? What's up, Jose? Vicky. Welcome, y'all. Keep coming in. So today we're talking about Breakthrough 101. So I promise y'all I will go live at least, at minimum, once a week. And really, let me tell you, I was meant to go live on Monday, and I felt so convicted that I didn't go live. Y'all, I felt convicted because I ended up yelling at my husband on Monday night and saying bad words. Hello, Mr. Jim Allen. So I felt convicted. So I was like, who are you to go on talking to people about doing better? Hi, Eric. About doing better in life. And here you are acting a fool. Acting a complete fool. So that's why that didn't happen. Thank you. So today we are talking about Breakthrough 101. So y'all, please like and share the live because this information is about to be dope. And it was something that was placed in my mind and in my heart earlier, actually on Sunday. But I had a trade show for my jewelry company this weekend, and by the time I got home, I was tired. So that's what happened on Sunday night. Then on Monday night, I just told y'all I felt convicted and I was feeling like a terrible person. Hello, y'all. Please like and share the live. This information is going to be great. So today what we're talking about is Breakthrough 101. Breakthrough 101. So why would I talk about this? Well, there's a few reasons why I would do this. One, most of you in some form or fashion are looking to experience a breakthrough in what you're doing. If you're building, there's always that point where you're like, okay, how do I get to the next level in this? How do I make this thing work for me? How do I make this? And it's like you're like that little engine that could. You're trying. Maybe some things are happening. Maybe some things are not happening. Maybe you've hit a plateau. Things aren't getting better. What's up, Bad Apple? Sanithia. Thank you, Mr. Jim Allen. What's up, Bobby? All of that. So y'all like and share. Everyone's going to need this information. Heck, I need this information. So when I got this download, I was like, oh, let's run with it. All right. So Breakthrough 101. So this is how, thank you so much for sharing the live, Bad Apple Customs. I'm still waiting to see your vision course come through. What's up, Kimber? What's up, the real me 100%? That's what I'm talking about. Ivy girl. What's up? Okay. So what we're talking about today is Breakthrough 101. And this is important because every single one of you all are attempting to break through in something. You need to break through. You need a breakthrough. You're searching for the next step. And for many of you, you may feel stuck. I know there's been times in my life where I feel stuck, and even certain areas of my life where I'm like, what is what is happening here? Okay. Um, and so what we're going to talk about is how to get through that part. What is it called again? I downloaded something. It could have been the wrong thing. It's called vision, cultivating vision and strategy. So you just go, I think you downloaded maybe the day-to-day that you fill out, but there's actually a course that's going to help you walk through your vision. Yeah. So go through, and it's called Cultivating Vision. If you go on my page, it says take the vision course, take that and just start your process. Just take you about 2 hours to complete, but it's definitely worth it. 2 hours will save you years. So y'all, please like and share the live, like and share the live. And so really what you need when it comes to a breakthrough, and usually when a client will call me or I work with someone, what they're looking for is some sort of breakthrough in their business, some sort of breakthrough in their life. And because I mostly work with entrepreneurs, it's typically a breakthrough in their business. And if you don't know me, my name's Yannick, and I help entrepreneurs set up strategies and systems so they can win, so they can go out and achieve what it is that they've set forth to achieve. And I've been doing that for now over 10 years. We're going to say that over 10 years. It's probably closer to 13 or 15, but over 10 years at least. And so normally what I have happen is when someone calls me, they want everything new. They're ready to spend money. They're ready to invest. They're ready to take whatever it is to the next level. And they're like, what can we do differently? And they try to put this together and that together and just to do all of the things, right? And the reason I say that is most people who do call are the people who are ready to get to work. They're ready for change and they're aware that change is necessary. And really, the first step I always talk to them about is before you go and start adding things and changing all these things and doing something new, let's look at what do you have? What do you have right now? What do you have going on right now? And how can we amplify what you have, organize and get what you have in order, and then figure out ways to take it to the next level? Why? When you bring new stuff into a house that's messy, does it look like new stuff? No, it still just kind of looks like junk. You could bring something really, really, really expensive into a new house. I'm sorry. You can bring something really, really expensive and brand new into a junky house, and that new thing that you bought will still look like junk. To where that one thing that may have cost you a few $1,000s that, like new car, and if it's like, think about like this, think if you bring a brand new Lamborghini into a funky garage that has boxes everywhere and clothes and like 12 old basketballs and just all of these things that don't make sense. It doesn't matter how new it is. Once you bring it into some place that's out of order, it'll still look like junk. So the goal is when you start something and when you're looking for a breakthrough is to take what you have, maximize what you have, and to get it in order. So that way, when you bring in something new, it contributes towards the newness and it contributes towards the growth, and it doesn't just look like more junk. And y'all, please like and share the live because we're about to get into this and you're going to need this information because I'm not going to gatekeep. Now, a lot of this stuff are soft skills in business that people don't consider. You can go to someone that'll tell you exactly what to do to get funding, exactly what, apps to buy, all of these other things. But these are the things that people don't explain that make a huge difference, right? And so think about it like this. Think of it about your business. Like we're about to go into Thanksgiving, or Thanksgiving is here. Thanksgiving is practically tomorrow, right? But we're going into Thanksgiving. And the last thing that you want to do during Thanksgiving is to cook in a dirty house. You don't want to bring new groceries and all that other stuff into a dirty kitchen. Why? It's stressful. That's not what you want. And it's the same thing for your business. So the first thing we want to do is think about what it is that you have. Now I'm going to teach this to you from two different ways, from just a system and a systematic version of it, and also from a spiritual version of it. Before, I say this all the time, God never asks people for what they don't have, but he will always ask that person to give what they have, and then what he'll do is anoint it. So it's what do you have? plus anointing what it is that what you have currently, meaning just putting that special sauce on it to make it go higher, faster, longer, everything else for where it is that you're looking to go. All right. So yes, y'all, please like and share the live. Please like and share the live. So when you're looking at what you have, think about your business in a few different areas. The first thing is you're looking at your employees. Do you have employees? Is it an employee of one? Is it an employee of two? Is it an employee of four? Right? That's the first area that you want to look at is, all right, who are my employees? What is it that we're doing there? The second thing is, what is the product that you have? What is the product that you have and how can you take it to the next level? The third area is, what about your mind? What are your ideas? What are your thoughts? What's up, Paulette? What are your thoughts? What is all of those things, right? And take that to the next level. And y'all, please like and share the live, like and share the live. What are your thoughts? What are your ideas? What are your employees? What is your actual product? What is the location that you have? What is the current website? Thank you so much for sharing it, Paulette. Thank you so much for sharing it, Bad Apple Customs. So what is it? What is it that you have? And how can you take what you have to the next level? I can't tell you the number of times I've walked into my clients' businesses and the first thing that I do is clean up. Hey, before we run a meeting, before we talk about leadership, before we talk about life, before we talk about how to make more money, before we talk about the product, before we talk about any challenges that you're seeing, before we talk about how to train, before we talk about additional sales training, before we talk about, how to overcome objections and terrible customers, identifying customers, before we talk about territories, before we talk about how to expand, before we talk about anything, can we clean up in here? Why? It's the concept of stewardship. You have to take care of what it is that you have. Anoint what you have before you start adding more. Why? Well, think about it like this. When a customer comes into your business, because basically what we're all looking for is some sort of breakthrough. And breakthrough can happen from the inside, meaning that you as the entrepreneur, you as the head, you as the lead can experience breakthrough, but also breakthrough can come from the outside, meaning there's someone who walks into the situation and they transform the scope of what it is that you're doing. So you have breakthrough internally and breakthrough externally. Now, you need order and you need a certain level of excellence in order to have an internal breakthrough. Meaning, let's say it's you, yourself, and your team. And I hear people say this all the time and it kills me. Nobody wants to work. That's not true. Nobody wants to work for you. But there's people out here working hard for free in internships and everything else who are working and putting time in like crazy. And y'all continue, please like and share the live. Thank you guys so much for liking this. But they're putting lots of crazy time in because they're finding people in situations in which they want to work for and work and work through. So the first area you want to have breakthrough is internal breakthrough. Because oftentimes external breakthrough doesn't happen until you start changing what you're like in your practices internally. So the first thing that I have them do oftentimes is clean up. You wouldn't imagine the number of businesses that are dwindling and that aren't growing to their full potential. And one of the first things you notice is how disorganized everything in the business is. And especially, like, it's one thing for you to be disorganized by yourself. It's another thing to have a lack of order and disorganization and you have employees and you have a team and you have customers coming in and out and all of this other stuff. Like, you ever go in a restaurant, or especially if it's like a sandwich shop or something like that, and you're like, why are there crumbs on this table? Like, nobody working here saw these crumbs? I don't want to sit down and eat here. What if I didn't want to eat this in my car? What if I wanted to sit down and eat like a human being? Nobody saw this? Nobody here saw this. Like that should be a part of like the every 10 minutes round. Hey, let's clean everything off, right? And so now this is the key is if you're the leader of that company and every employee sees how you allow for that location to be, what is it that they're going to do? Are they going to honor your business? Are they going to work hard there? The likelihood is that they won't. Why? Because people are not going to honor what it is that you're doing at a higher level than which you are. They're not going to. The second thing is, oftentimes you can hire someone new that can completely transform the inner workings of your team. You have the ability to do that. The Lakers changed when Magic Johnson came to the team. The Lakers changed once again when Kobe Bryant was there. Let's not even talk about what happened with Cleveland and LeBron James. But when they walk into that organization, they have to see, there has to be something that attracts them and says, look, this place is ready for greatness. This place is ready for excellence. And a lot of times when you go into businesses and someone walks into your business or they see how, just things are organized and structured within there, they see that lack of excellence and they say, not here. But what you want is for someone to come into your business or into your life and say, okay, this is something that I can stand on. This is something that I can build, a life around. This is something that I can trust my life to. Because especially when you're a leader, especially when you're an entrepreneur, one of the, like your biggest method of exchange, your biggest method of exchange is not necessarily money. It's always trust. It's always trust. Can I trust this business? Can I trust the owner of this company? Can I trust this CEO? Is there some sort of trust here that I can work with? Oh, hold on, y'all. Let me make sure this isn't frozen. Here we go. Oh, no. Oh, sorry, y'all. I don't know what happened. I have no idea what happened. Yes, 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 yes. So, thank you guys. So when you first go into this, right? When you first go into this and you first start the business and everything, everyone's thinking, can I trust this person? Can I trust this CEO? Can I trust the owner of this company? What is that like? And what they're doing is they're looking around and they're looking at the business and they're trying to determine the answer to that question. And when they go in and they see a lack of order, the first thing they're thinking is, nah, this ain't the place for me. Why? The goal is for you to always reach to recruit people at your level and above. So I want to attract people to my business and to my life that are at my level or above. Now, attracting people that are above is a way harder, but it can be done depending on how strong your vision is and how strong you communicate your vision and how structured you are. And when people come in, do they see excellence? This is another mistake that I see people make all the time is that they think that in order for them to be successful, that they have to have it all together. No, people just need to see that you're on your way. They just need to be able to see what you're doing and be able to see and feel and experience that you are on your way. You're on your way to getting this done. You know what you're doing. What's up, Kevin? You're on your way to getting this done. They know what you can do. They're experiencing it and they go from there. Does that make sense, y'all? There's some strange people that are asking to join this live. And I'm afraid. I am afraid of what this could be. Oh, no, no, no. Invitation to go live together. Nope, decline. You sometimes I can just feel it in my spirit when someone is trying to go on this live with me and they're about to do something crazy, right? So that's the first thing. And so what you want to do is you want to use exactly what it is that you have. Now, here's my secret sauce to this, right? I always look at, hey, what do I have? And then I ask God to anoint it. What do you have? Like when you think of Moses, Moses had a rod. He was running away from the Egyptians. Hit the ocean. What all he had was a rod, and he wasn't a magician. Right. So guess what? Hey, anoint this, make a way for me. Right, he had the or staff. Let me stop calling it a rod. That's kind of country. He had a staff. And so look, God anointed that and created a space. Created a space, right? But you have to start off with what it is that you have. What is it that you have? We are country. I know I said a rod. It was a staff, but to me, a staff and a rod is the same thing. Maybe a rod is metal, but a staff feels more like let my people go. So we're going to go with the staff, right? And then he just asked him to anoint it. He just asked him to anoint it, and he did. It made a way. It's the same thing. Every time you look at what it is that you have and you use what you have and you get it in order, that's something that can be anointed. And this is how you know when it's just that extra special sauce on top of it. It's that extra special sauce is when things are happening in your business and you're growing in a way that technically you should not. When you get opportunities that maybe you're not the most qualified person for. Meaning there's people with more degrees behind their names. They've got titles before their names. They've got more, all of these things done. Maybe they went to this school and that school or whatever, but somehow you're making it happen. Somehow you're getting more business. Somehow you're getting more opportunities. Somehow you're getting more recognition. Somehow you're making more money. Somehow things are just happening for you that just don't make sense. That's when you know you're receiving that anointing. And that comes from good stewardship. And that comes from really obedience and getting your life in order, getting your life to the next level. And that is the goal, friend. That is the goal. So the first thing we're talking about is what is it that you have and taking it to the next level. So if you have a physical location in your business, don't settle for just good enough. Do not settle for just good enough in your business. Just don't. Whatever that location looks like, ask how you can elevate it. How can you make people walk in and say, wow, I don't care if it's an auto shop or whatever. You know, one thing I love as a lady, going into an auto shop that's comfortable, like more than comfortable and more than tidy. To me, that's half of the battle when I don't like to take my car into places. More of the reasons why I take my car to the dealership, and it's not because I don't want to pay dealership prices. I take it because I know I'm going to be comfortable when I get in there, and I'm not going to feel like there may be oil on my clothes. You know, it's just going to be clean. It's just comfortable to where even if I have to sit there for a while, I'm not sitting in a space that's uncomfortable in order for that to happen. So that's the first thing that you want to do is take whatever it is. Let's say you have a physical location. Ask yourself, how can I take this physical location of my business to the next level? How can I ramp it up? How can I make it a little bit more trendy? How can I make it a little bit more comfortable? How can I make it more of an experience that people want to be in? And even when you do that and you turn and you make it into that experience, make sure that you have a system in place that maintains it at that level, that you're maintaining it at that crazy good high level, because that's important. The second thing that you want to do is you want to take your employees to the next level and take your team to the next level. That includes yourself. One of the things I find is that when people have a team that's underperforming, they very, very quickly start adding new team members. But this is the rule to business. This is an important rule. Pay close attention. Y'all, please like and share the live. Like, share. One of the things that no one talks about is when you hire someone, you typically don't hire someone that's C-level. And really, it's like the idea of when you hire people, you either hire them and they're just like an A employee, a B employee, and then you have C's, and then D's and F's you usually don't hire, you're about to fire, right? And the rule of thumb is that no one hires someone at a C level. Typically, you hire them at a strong B, like a B plus or an A, and they usually fall to a C level based upon what it is that they're experiencing within your business, meaning they see what everyone else isn't doing. So maybe they came with the mindset of I'm going to work hard, and they realize, oh no, I'll be the hardest working person here. Ain't no way. Have y'all ever seen that happen? Have y'all ever seen that happen? Y'all, I'm sorry if y'all hear my dogs. The true green person is here to spray the lawn, and my small dog, she has to defend the territory. She's offended by everyone who tries to even come, to her space. So that's the thing. When you hire someone, they usually fall to a C level or to a B level, but you typically don't hire them at that space. And so what you want to do is you want to get your teams and your employees together so that way you don't have these types of issues. And so let's say you do have a team of people who are underperforming. The first thing you need to figure out is why. Is there additional training that's needed? Are they unaware? What's up, mister? What's up? Perseverance. Okay. But what you want to do is make sure that if you don't know what's going on, you take the time to figure out, okay, why are these people not on point? Why are these people just not on point? Why are things not acting right? Because if you add anyone else into it, then now you're just going to have another bad apple. You're going to have another bad apple. So you have to find the holes in the game. Start off with what you have and take what you have to the next level. And what you'll find is sometimes you have to let someone go before you bring on that new person. And this sucks because we're like, look, that means we'll have to work overtime. This means that there'll be people that are things that I have to do that I normally don't have to do. There'll be people that are just like, you're going to have to suffer for a while. But if you bring on someone amazing and you have them work next to someone who is trash, that person is going to the new person is going to end up being something close to like the trash in a hot second. And this is the real key to operating a strong business and creating a strong company, creating a strong organization is really maintaining that energy that exists within the business and working with people that are there and really controlling how all of those things are kind of meshing together. Really taking that time to do so. Yes, Marley. Yes, definitely. You want to have some sort of freedom as well. And when you do that, it gives you may have a little less freedom in the beginning if you have to let someone else go before you bring them on. But what's going to happen is you're going to build quicker because really, I find that it's the other employees that someone has to work with that can ruin someone's work experience in an organization. But also, if you have a great team that they're really meshed with each other, even if they don't like the job that much, right? Even if they don't really like the job that much, they will stay around because they love the people that they work with. And I've heard so many people say, and I've recruited before, because every entrepreneur is also a recruiter. And this is what you're learning as well right now, is if you want to grow, you're going to have to learn how to recruit great people. And I've heard people say all the time, hey, I want to leave the place that I'm at. I want to find a new career, but I don't know if I'll find another work environment like this. No, it doesn't pay me what I want to make. No, it's not necessarily the industry that I'm in, but I love the people here. And I'm really unsure if I'll be able to find another position like this and other people to work with for and work with like this. Have any of you guys ever experienced that? Where you're like, man, I don't love this job, but I love the people that I work with. And it makes it really difficult in order for you to leave. Because you're like, I'm going to end up leaving here, and the next people, they're just going to be trash. They are going to be trash. And that's something else. That's something completely different. Completely different. So that's really big. So once you've decided, like, look, I'm going to use what I have before I start making all these crazy changes in my business, how can I enhance what's already here? So we already talked about the employees. The second thing that you're going to have to do is with the employees to create a successful training system. What I find is we assume that people know things that they really don't know. Just because someone's been around you forever does not mean that they know what you know, friend. Just because they've seen you do it 1,000 times doesn't mean that they know how to do it. Like, I have an auntie, and I'm only talking about this because it's Thanksgiving. I have an auntie that can cook. I'm talking like cook. She's in New Orleans. It's one of my great aunts, by the way. She can throw down. I'm talking whenever there's cars in the driveway and the neighbors see that there's a lot of cars, meaning there's family in town, suddenly the neighbors start dropping in. Oh, I'm just here to say hey, just stopping by to say hello. No, you're not, liar. You are here to come to eat. You are here to come eat. You know there's a lot of family in town. Yeah, they're there to get a plate. But they claim like, oh yes, Miss Ray, we just here to say hi. No, you're not. You know that she has family in town because you see all these cars. And you already know that if all these cars are here, what's up, B? You know all these cars are here. You know she's cooking. So you stopped by to get you a plate. We know that. Now, this is the thing. She cooks so well that literally nobody around her for real can cook. Her daughters couldn't cook like that. Nobody else could. And she thought like, well, you've seen me make this. I know. But this is why. She would say things like, you've seen me make this 1,000 times. Yeah, but you would never ever let anyone make it. You would never let anyone else cook. And because you never allowed anyone else to cook, no one else know how to do it. Unless you take the time to write down the recipe or you let them do it and just be like, this last Thanksgiving that we had, she did allow people to kind of cook, but it wasn't really that. She just came by and be like, baby, that's just a little too much water in that pot. Mm-mm. That's just a little too much water. Mm-mm. Take some of that water out. And really, I could tell she had a hard time even watching other people cook. This is how we run our businesses. This is how we train people. We think just because they watched us 5 million trillion times that they are ready. Friend, they are not ready. That is not training. Training is walking them through it and allowing them to do it themselves and allowing them to burn the food one time so that they can learn how to properly cook. You got to let a child learn how to fry an egg before they can fry an egg. You can't just have them watch you 1,000 times. There's some mechanics that go in there. And it's the same thing when you're running your business. You have to allow people to really see how you do it and to allow them to do it and mess up in order to do that. So that's the first thing. So we already talked about your location, how you can take your location to the next level. And I tell people, don't treat your business how you treat your house. You know how when you at home, you get comfortable, you're like, look, I just showered. Let me just lay this towel right here just for now. I just need to rest. Your house is a place where you go and rest and have peace. So that may be a space where you may keep things a little bit messier. That may be a space where, Maybe you hang your jacket in one area and then maybe you move it the next day. You might just leave your shoes by the door, whatever. I get it. Because for many of us, home is a safe place. And I believe that home should be a safe place because that's the place where you go to rest. And that's the place where you can have peace. Uh-oh. Yep, tap and share, y'all. Like and share, like and share, like and shares. I don't know what was going on with this live, but it's been going off. I guess because it's Thanksgiving, a lot of people are on, so TikTok may be having some trouble. But so when you go to your home is a space where you are going to rest. That's a space for you to have peace. So when you go home, and if you leave your shoes by the door, or you do something crazy, I'm not saying that, everything should be a mess, but I can understand that. That's a place for you to have peace. Your business is not that space. Your business is not for you. Your business is for your clients. Your business is for your employees. Your business is for anyone who may want to come and invest, because I'm always throwing that out there. Run your business in a way and keep these in a way where people say, how can I invest? This is so good. Like, I can't do what you do, but how can I give you some money so I can get a little piece of it too? You know what I'm saying? How can we do this together? That is what you want to do. And that's how you want to run your business. And y'all, please like and share. What's up, David? What's up? Like and share, like and share. So, your business is not for that. So, your business is a way to make sure that your clients have the experience that they desire to have. Remember, when you're at home so that way you can have the experience that you're looking to have. But I have the experience at home that I want to have, especially if I'm going out and working and doing my thing in business. I want to ensure that I have a space to come home to rest. When I go to my business, my goal is not to rest. It's not. My goal is to work and serve my customers and my clients. So we have that about the space. The second part is the training system for your employees. The third thing is money. Now, money makes a huge difference in business. Why? Because oftentimes having additional revenue coming in, having additional money to invest can make a world of difference. You can find better equipment, faster equipment, and you can do things better, faster. You may be able to find a manufacturer. You may be able to do all of those things. Now, one thing that I find is that we assume that, hey, if I had this money, the first thing that I'm going to do is invest back into my business. That's not necessarily true. Because if you won't take an extra, look, sometimes it's like an extra $500, or extra $5 a day or $10 a day, then when you get 50 grand, you're probably not going to invest back either. And what ends up happening is I meet so many people who have really, really high business goals and they turn into Uncle Scrooge. And if y'all remember the show DuckTales, y'all remember Uncle Scrooge? Where Uncle Scrooge didn't want to spend nothing. He didn't want to spend no money on nothing. Uncle Scrooge picked up his nephews from the cab, and they were like, "Oh, okay, are we taking a cab? Are we driving the car?" He's like, "Oh no, that's expensive. It's only a 20-mile walk home." Some of y'all like that. Some of y'all will make your employees walk 20 miles because you don't want to spend an extra $5. Has anyone ever worked for someone like that? Where they won't buy the extra POS system because it costs an extra, $200 a month. You like that? Oh Lord. But little do they know that the old stuff that people are using are taking them 2 and 3 and 4 times to do it. And they spend Right. And they spend the majority of their time trying to fix this old piece of junk that you have, getting frustrated. And next thing you know, you have frustrated employees interacting with your team. Oh, your old employer. I was about to say, hey, Lisa. So yeah. So you can't be like that. You can't be that person that's Uncle Scrooge when it comes to running your businesses. So you've got to learn how to steward your money and for the money that you have coming in, for the money that you have coming in, what are you doing to reinvest into the business based on what you currently have? I mean, I've seen it to where I've worked with people who they're like, look, we need better employees, we need this, we need that. Don't want to invest any money into recruiting. Or they want to give a shoestring budget into recruiting, but they want a top dollar person. I don't think you deserve a top dollar person. Because if you won't even spend the money to recruit the top dollar person, I know you're not going to do what you need to do to maintain a top dollar person. And this is why you keep getting these $2 50 cent people into your business, because the same way that you don't care and you don't want to invest, you're just going to attract other people that don't want to invest either. They just don't want to invest in their job. They're just there to get their check and to leave. And there's portions of that can be okay, because sometimes I want people to just come in and do the work, but not in that method. And y'all, please like, and share, so that way we can attract more people. So I'm hoping that I stop the doom scrolling, so y'all can get this free game to take your business and everything to the next level. Take everything to the next level. Okay, good. So that's the second thing is, what can you do, or how are you using the money that you have? The little bit of extra that you have, how are you investing it back into the business? I see oftentimes where business owners will eat their seed money to where their business hasn't even become a toddler yet, but they're already buying new cars. They're already suddenly they can no longer shop at TJ Maxx. Now they got to shop at Louis Vuitton because they're like, I need to look like a business owner. Well, guess what? Most very, 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 very wealthy business owners that I know, you know where they get their clothes? Every once in a while, they'll pull out some designer for a special party. A lot of them buy clothes from Costco. Most of them that I know, unless they're in entertainment, and it's because that's really a part of the thing, a lot of them buy their clothes from Costco. Would you believe that? I hope you would. So make sure that you're taking what you have right now and figuring out, yes, you can buy clothes, and you sure can. And I love their leggings. All that workout gear and stuff, I get it straight from Costco. So other ways that you can reinvest the money that you have. Number one is recruiting. You are only as strong as your weakest team member. And the goal is, if the business shuts down, if you're not able to tend to it, if you're not there and the business can't make any money, friend, no dream should die with you. If you were to get sick for 2 months, would that business shut down? Could your employees and your clients, have that time? Probably not. Can they grow the business? So you want to invest in recruiting. Other things that you can invest your money into is advertisements. The first level of success in your business is awareness. People need to be aware that your business exists. In the world of social media, advertising is expensive, but it's not what you think it would cost, especially if you're in a business that's not like super popular. Like, let's say you're trying to advertise for maybe a tax business. That may be a little bit more expensive because there's a lot of tax businesses out there, right? But I meet a lot of people that are into some really niche type of businesses, to where if they were to advertise at all, they would kill it. And do you know that most people advertise when they see other people advertising? So when you're seeing businesses that have strong advertisements, They're doing it because they see so and so down the street has it. I have to compete. But the goal is to do it before your competition is doing it. So you can go ahead and create that little sector for yourself, especially if you're in a business that's not like super, super saturated. But guess what? If it's something that you're called to, it doesn't matter who all's doing it. Because 60% of the people who are doing it are trash anyway. And they're not really doing it. Just because their name is listed there doesn't mean that they're doing it. Like, I'm in Atlanta, there's a million billion hairstylists. Everybody's not doing hair. For real. Just because they have their real estate license doesn't mean they're out there being a realtor. They haven't showed a house. They might have posted it on their social media, but they haven't showed a house in 5 years. So that's why you can't get too thrown off. What's up? What's up? That's why you can't get too thrown off by the competition that's out there. Because a lot of your competition, they're not even trying to compete. They're just trying to hold on. So y'all please like and share the live. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for getting this up to 2,000. That's amazing. All right. So those are other things that you can invest your money on. The third one is your location, improving your location if you have one. And every place doesn't have to be like the newest, the best, the whatever, the A grade. Your first location, let me tell you, my first business location was trash. Like it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't that amazing. But what we did by the time we were done painting, getting our office furniture in, clean it up, doing this, doing that, decorating, everything, it looked really, really good. So when people came in, they're like, this place is amazing. And that's what you want to do for your location. How can you home goods that location just to make it to where people are like, oh, this is just comfortable to be in. So the appearance of it is consistent with the level of service that you have. There's been many times where I've worked with people that were far more skilled, whether it was attorneys that were very skilled, far more aware, far more caring than most others, but they don't get the business just because their location doesn't reflect the level of work in which they perform. And whenever you walk into a place, oftentimes what that place looks like will determine what people are willing to pay for it. And it sucks to say that, but that's what people will do. Whatever that location looks like will determine what people feel like they should have to pay for it. So if it looks mom and pops, they're going to be like, oh, I should only have to pay mom and pop money for this. So finding ways to improve your location. You know, bring in, you know, a contractor. Look, who can paint? Who can build out a little wall here? Who can do this? Who can do that? Can you build in a shelf here? Whatever it is that you can do to elevate that. The fourth thing that you can invest your money into is your employee experiences. There was something that I used to love doing, and this is why I believe I never had a huge problem, especially like later in my career. Y'all excuse my dogs. There's like people moving around and people delivering stuff from Amazon that I'm gonna go search through and see if I bought some stuff. Or to see if my husband bought me some stuff. Because I'll be like, I try to pull a left eye, like I know there's something for me in here. Anyway, so one thing I love to invest in is employee experiences. How can I give my team an experience that they cannot get at another company? Another company can pay them $2 more. But when's the last time, and y'all please reply to this in the chat. When's the last time the company that you work for treated you to a full spa day? They're like, look, everybody come to the office. We're working for 2 hours, and when we leave, we're all going to the spa, and we're getting full body massages, body scrubs, facials, all of that. When's the last time y'all have ever had an employer do that? No, nobody. Right? And how happy would you be? And what I would do is set goals with my team I would set goals with my team, and I would set aside money that I would take to reinvest into my team. Why? When my team is happy, they don't care if the customers are being trashed. Because my team, they're like, look, this experience that's happening, it's making it all worth it. I talked to one of my old clients, and he had a sales office. I was like, look, why don't you run some sort of competition for 2 months? And whoever wins, you take them to the Bahamas. Take them to the Bahamas. Whoever hits the metrics, whether it's one person or 15, take them to the Bahamas. And what you do is you make the money that you're spending make sense. To where, let's say we work and the business gets an extra 6 figures, 100 grand. If you made an extra 100 grand, it's nothing to spend 15 on and invest back into your employees. Why? Because they're going to go out and make the business another $100,000 to $200,000. Lord, these dogs. Hey! They're really acting up. Hold on. Hey! Stop it. Come here. Look, y'all hear all that? Oh, Lord! Come here. Come here, big boy. Come here. Y'all, this is who be making all the noise on the live. Just show all the people what you were doing, scaring the lawn guy, scaring the man in the yard. He probably had a heart attack back there with all that carrying on. Huh? You gonna be good? And you got it. I got it right. All right, be good. At least for one day. Can you be good for the next 30 minutes? At least try. Yeah, he don't want to be good. What did you? Y'all, these dogs privileged. So, what's up, Jose Luis? So that's what you want to do. Take that, invest back in your team. Other things that you can invest in is in your systems. Has someone created some sort of technology? Has someone created some sort of formula that can help you do what you need to do better, faster, with more ease, with more flow? Is there a consultant that you can bring in, that you can invest in, that can show you how to make your business flow better? That's other ways that you can invest back in your business. Additional learning, additional structure. Another way of investing back into your business is additional hiring. We already talked about that with recruiting, but I want to re-emphasize that. I have met with some of you all. And also, if you want to talk to me one-on-one specifically about your business, what you want to do is go to the link in my bio and click Team Transformations or Talk with Me, and go on the page and schedule a call, to where I'm going to give you everything that I have. We can just do a discovery call where I'll give you everything I have in half an hour. And usually by the time we discuss what you need, I can at least give you one or two points that can take your business to the next level. This is why this is key. I don't like to give people a lot of things to implement at the same time. Most human beings can only take small amounts of change. And so if you give someone far too many things that they need to implement all at the same time, typically they will give up because they cannot handle doing that. Y'all, please continue to like and share. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And so this is how you do that. So another thing, so we're talking about how to use what you have in the beginnings of breakthrough. Is you want to use what you have and then create order with what you have before you bring in something new, before you bring in someone new, before you worry about getting additional funding, right? And this is another thing too. Order allows you to know that when you get the money, where do you need to place it? Until you get organized, you really don't know where you need to allocate the funds that are coming in. So say someone does give you an extra $20,000 for investing, or someone invested 20K into you, 100K, $200,000, what have you. Are you organized enough to know where that money needs to go? Meaning you get it and you take off running, and you know that what you took off with and where you place the money is where it's going to give you the highest value of return. And sometimes it's not the place that it's not what you first started thinking or that first came into your mind. What you want to do is you want to look at data, and data will say, okay, I think I need this new machine, but I actually need to hire a recruiter. Or I think I need a new person, but really what I need to do is I actually need to invest into blah, blah, blah manufacturing. Or maybe I thought I needed a new location, but before I get this new location, maybe I need to put an extra $20,000 into finding someone to manufacture these products for me. Finding a good manufacturer that can take that part of what we're doing out of the in-house side. Because I have met with a lot of entrepreneurs that they're doing all of their own manufacturing, and what's happening is they're working so hard on manufacturing the product, creating the product, that they don't have the ability to actually work on the business, to scale the business. So all they're doing is this: they make stuff, it sells out. Then they spend all their time manufacturing more, then it sells out. And then they manufacture more, they sell it, it sells out. And they feel like they're doing well because they're like, look, all my products are selling out. But no, what's happening is you're getting in this process to where you're having a large flow of money in, nothing. 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 So instead of making and having a consistent cash flow for 52 weeks out of the year, now you're only getting a cash flow for 20 something odd weeks of the year. And so what are you going to do with that other than break even? It takes consistent cash flow in order to grow a company. Consistent positive cash flow. So if you were to take, 20 grand, heck, and guess what? Say you don't have, maybe there's 10 products you want to create, and you would need $30,000 to get manufacturing started. Can you get two manufactured? Can you get your top 2 selling products manufactured by someone else? That will at least allow you some consistent cash flow to where it's like, oh, the shop's open. I hate seeing that. If you guys ever see that on Instagram or whatever, where they're like, oh yeah, we're opening the website on November 24th. We restocked, and the restock is done on the 24th. And then next thing you know, you open it up, everything sells out, and then they sell everything, they post it on Instagram. It's like, yay, we got $1 million worth of sales last week. And that's amazing, right? But like, that wouldn't happen to Sephora. They wouldn't do $1 million in one day and then shut down the operation the next day. They're like, no, we brought in $1 million on Monday, $1 million on Tuesday, $1 million on Wednesday, $1 million on Thursday, $1 million on Friday, $1 million on Saturday. And then when they get to those seasons where they're only selling, a fewer amount of product, then they've made up for it from all of that consistency there. But it's not just, hey, let me build this out, close it down, build it out, close it down, build it out, close it down, build it out, close it down. So this is why it's really, really important for you to get your business in order, because when you get it in order, you can figure out where the holes are. Sometimes we get so busy just running the business and running our lives and doing things that we don't realize the reason something isn't growing is that there's all these holes in my system. But because I haven't stopped and I haven't slowed down and gotten everything in order, I don't know where the holes are. So I keep driving this car with an oil leak. And then when the car breaks down, we call it a piece of you know what. But really, it had an oil leak that was never tended to. Isn't that crazy? But we do it in business and to our businesses all the time. All the time, all the time, all the time. And it makes absolutely no sense. Absolutely no sense. Right? And if you guys like this, please like, share, and all of that good stuff. Thank you guys for getting us to 3,000 likes. You guys are amazing. So here's a few things that you want to do. So once you take a look at, hey, this is everything that I have. This is what makes sense based on what I have in my business, right? The next thing I want you to do, pray on it. Ask God to anoint it. Look, this is what I have. What do I need to do to get your blessing for this? And I'm going to tell you, it's always going to be get it in order. Create something that I can put my name on. Something I can put my name on. Make it make sense for me. Make it make sense for me. And then you want to get your business in order. Your teams, your operations, your finances, your data, your statistics. How many customers do you bring in? Sometimes it may need to be marketing statistics. How long does it take you to service a customer? You know, I spoke with a woman maybe 2 weeks ago. Amazing business, right? One thing she didn't know was how long it took for her to close one case. How much time it really takes and goes into helping someone. And she does some things with children, and she's an advocate, and it's amazing business. And so because she doesn't know, or at that time she didn't know what it would take for her to scale her business, she didn't really know what else she needed. So it's like, I had someone, but I let him go because they didn't feel like they had much work to do and all this other stuff. And I'm like, seems like you got a lot of work. And if you were to market some, you'd be overwhelmed. You just don't know because you don't really see how long it's taking you to do everything. And you're just doing everything. So yeah, you need some work. These dogs are so lazy, y'all. You just gonna make all that noise just so you can get comfortable? Y'all don't get a Rottweiler. I love them, but don't get a Rottweiler. They're just big goofs that make a lot of noise. And they're really, really clingy. If you want a really clingy shadow dog, get you a Rottweiler. All right, and then last but not least, the last thing that I want you guys to do is once you get it in order, once you take what you have, you get it in order, the next thing I want you to do is to promote it. Promote your business. And there are so many things and so many people that are doing things in excellence that don't promote themselves. And then you have the person that's running the 2-bit business and they're all over Instagram. Ain't nobody got their products in 5 years. You know, they messing up everybody's car. They're doing everything crazy and they're promoting like crazy. But the people who have their lives in order, have their businesses in order, they're staying quiet about it. Don't do that. Don't do that. Grow your business, promote it, put that money into marketing, start talking about it, start telling people about it, start promoting it with your employees, promote the business, promote your vision, promote everything from within, internally and externally, because you need your customers to buy into it. And you also need, for guess what? You need your customers to buy into it and you need your team to buy into it. Some of you guys need to promote what you're doing to your family so that they can get off your back a little bit about it. The reason they're not bought in is you never took the time to really explain the vision that you had for it. And it's really, really difficult to get someone to buy into a vision that they haven't heard. Really, really, really busy. About time what? Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. It's really, really difficult to get someone to buy into a vision in which they have not heard. It is very difficult to get your team and your people and your family to buy into a vision that you can't articulate. That's why I have that vision course that's there. What's up, Knight Rider? You must be real important. And this is really important. One part that I put into my vision course is, who do you need to articulate this to, and who do you need to get buy-in from before you start this new venture. Is I had so many clients in corporations that their biggest hurdle was not externally. Their biggest hurdle, thank you so much, Bad Apple. Their biggest hurdle was not externally. Their biggest internal was their biggest hurdle was within their household and within their family. So it's like, I've got this great business, but no one wants to help me. I've got this great business. My husband doesn't want to watch his kids, doesn't want to watch the kids. I've got this great business. Everyone's applying pressure. I've got this great business. And basically, what I've noticed is that people are requiring sacrifice from their families without truly communicating why they're sacrificing. They just assume that you should know. There's a difference between running your business and having a vision in which the business is funding. So when you write a vision, let's say you have your family, right? Or you have a family. You need to write the vision as to how this project and how this business is going to elevate and make the vision for the family come true. Does that make sense? So your vision is, you look at your life, and hopefully, Bad Apple, you'll have this done today, because I want to see it, and so that way we can really start working through your vision. But your vision is really like, what is it that I see for my family, like long term, like fast forward in life, everything goes my way, my family looks like this. Is it college is paid for, the house is done, blah blah blah, this type of school, this is how we relate to each other, I'm able to have dinner with them every day at 6:30. What is the vision for the family? What is the vision for finances? What does the money look like? What is the vision for our spirituality? We don't want to do all these things and still end up being crazy, right? Who wants to gain the whole world and lose their soul? Nobody. But you have to do that with the right intention. Then you're going through it and saying, what do I want my friendships and my relationships to look like? What is that going to look like? You can have a great vision and bring the wrong people into your life, even as friendships, and they tear the whole thing down. So when you meet people, you need to have an idea of the type of people you need to meet. And the type of people, thank you so much for sharing this, Knight Rider. The type of people that you want to meet are the people that are going to help push you towards the person you're trying to become, and not people that are drawing you back into the person you're trying to evolve away from. Like, what areas in your life are you experiencing a deliverance? Like, for instance, my thing is like, look, if you're just trying to party and drink all the time, like, I just can't be in that space anymore. I just can't. So I can't attract people into my life where that's the cornerstone of their lives. I just can't. Everything that I do requires for me to be sober-minded. And it also requires for my emotions to be here. I can't be all over the place like this, and my clients be all over the place either. And look, and pumping my body full of stimulants doesn't do that. Various versions of stimulants and depressants back to back to back to back doesn't allow me to be in the mental space to be able to serve people. So my friendships have to reflect that, right? The second side to it, so once you have the relationship side, then even you got to think about your extracurricular. How are you going to play? This is important to plan as well. I like to, and I have previously, I need to get back in the habit of this, previously have been in the habit of planning all of my vacations in advance, whether like paying for it, reserving it, whatever, even when I think I have it, when I don't have it, whatever, just so that way I know I have something to look forward to. Because I know if I don't put it on the calendar, I'll be the person be like, yeah, I'm gonna take that extra client. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and think next thing you know, years will pass by and I've done nothing to just kind of fill my cup back up, not realizing that everything that I do requires for my cup to be pretty full, right? It requires it. So I gotta have that time in prayer. I gotta have that time with God. I gotta have that time where I literally vacate. Hey, I'm not sending any emails. I'm not answering them. I'm not answering my phone. I'm not doing any of those things. I gotta just let go. So that way when I come back to what I'm doing, I'm full and I have something to give. That is something that you have to plan for. How are you gonna play? There has to be a time where your brain turns off. Also, this is what's really cool too, is oh, awesome. My mother-in-law just started. Oh, they not coming. You know, I love when family back. We come to see you. My mother-in-law just stopped at Graceland to see Elvis's house. Y'all ain't coming to see us. we ready for you to be here. She's like, I just saw Grace. Like, oh, I can't wait to be at the age where all I want to do is travel and see historical sites. I'm there. I'm definitely there. Because I'm the person to pull the car over and get out and take pictures. So if you go on a long trip with me, don't be mad. Because we're going to stop when we see that brown sign. We're going to stop and we're going to read it. And we're going to teach the kids about it. That's why our family probably flies everywhere. Because they don't want to deal with me. Okay, so you have to have that time of, how am I going to play? This is another reason that you have to set this aside and make this a part of your vision. And if you need help with this, click the link in my bio. I have a vision course and it will save you years of your life. It will save you years of your life of trying to figure out something, and being mad at yourself that you're not hitting this target that you never created and that you never defined. And there's been so many times in my life where I've been so upset about not being where I felt like I was supposed to be, not realizing that I never defined where I supposed to be, where I felt like I was supposed to be. I just knew where I wasn't it. It's like, I should be further along. Okay, where? I shouldn't even be living here. Well, where should you be living? Is it in France? Is it in California? Are you supposed to move to Texas? Or are you just moving to Texas because everybody else moving to Texas? Maybe you're supposed to live in Minnesota. Are you supposed to be in Utah? Are you supposed to be in Alaska? Are you supposed to be in Mexico? Are you supposed to be in Costa Rica? Are you supposed to move to Taiwan? Where are you supposed to be, friend? And because you never took the time, you'll wake up and you'll move here, move there, move there. And you're like, why am I never satisfied? You're never satisfied because you never defined what success looks like for you. Let me talk about this other side. I have had clients in the past that went through deep depressions because they realized they built a life and they were successful at building a life that they never wanted. And that's the saddest thing. Do you know how hard it is to be on the top of a mountain that you didn't want to be on? You on the top of Mount Sinai and you really want to be on top of Mount Kilimanjaro, but you didn't walk all the way up there. Y'all, who wants to do that? Who wants to do that? Who wants to walk? And that's what life is like. It's climbing this mountain, even if you're enjoying the scenery, so you can make it to that high place and look down and say, whew, we did this. I'm a little out of breath. We lost a few along the way, but we're up here. And you build the life and you're up there, but you realize you climbed up the wrong mountain. And it happens all the time. Because if you don't define what your life will be like, then you'll live by other people's definitions of what your life should be like, but you didn't search your spirit. For instance, you'll go on Instagram right now, or you'll go on Pinterest or whatever, you'll see all these beautiful homes, beautiful lifestyles or whatever. Let me tell y'all something. I know people that live in 10, 15,000 square feet homes that hate it. Do you know how easy it is to get lonely in a 15 or a 10,000 square foot home? A 15,000 square foot home? You know how hard it is to watch your kids? Open your kids in a house that big. They can sneak somebody in from anywhere. If you're OCD and you like things to be kept a certain way, do you know how hard it is to keep things a certain way and with that much space? If you like a lot of alone time, why are you building a life that requires that much help? So, and it's because sometimes we see what other people are enjoying and we start coveting their lives. That's why the Bible tells us don't covet someone else's life. I have something for you. I know you and I know what you like because I put it in you. And this is what you should be going for. Don't mess around and be in somebody else's house and in your house over there dying because you never went out to it for it. Some of y'all don't even realize that you don't even want to live in the city. You want to live out on a lake somewhere in the middle of the trees with nobody there fishing, right? Looking at deer, riding horses and stuff like that. Because that's what's really in your spirit. So you want to look at what do you want your environment to be like? What and this is how you know what type of environments give you peace. How can you create a lifestyle? And this is the thing. Some like there are people who are not very like career oriented, and that's fine. Like I'm into it. So, but sometimes if you can define how you want to live your life, then you choose the career and you choose the path that allows you to live your life that way. So, let's say you do want to live out in the woods somewhere. So now it's less about do I love my job? No, I don't. But I do love the fact that when I go outside my door, I can be butt naked in the middle of the woods with the deer and the river or the ocean or what have you. And this job allows me to do that. This job allows me to be that far removed and still be successful at it. So I'm doing this so I can have that. And sometimes when we look at and you don't create a vision for your life, then you'll just put these one things first and not look at is this one thing that I have made an idol of subtracting from my ability to do all of these other things. And that's when you see people that just quit at everything and they just shut down. And it's not that they're tired of working. They just made an idol out of their career and they chose to do something that doesn't facilitate what it is that they actually the way that they actually want to live. But if they would have started with the vision for their entire lives, and let's say career isn't at the top, because career is not going to be at the top for everyone, and that's amazing. God didn't put that in everyone's heart. He just didn't. And that's fine. Other people are going to like create crazy philanthropies. Some of y'all are going to be missionaries. Some of y'all are going to do all kind of different things, but you have to really determine that vision and look at your life as a whole and then create a strategic plan for your life and for your business based on that whole. And so once you figure out the lifestyle, the environment, how you're going to play, another thing is how are you going to contribute? Some of you guys are so tired because you're not doing anything that contributes to something. And humans are built to contribute and to give back. And so some of the loneliness comes from that lack of community and the lack of contribution. Some of the anxiety is from the lack of community and lack of contribution. Let me tell you, I remember volunteering. One of my friends, she's amazing with this. And for her birthday, she asked her friends to be like benevolent. And it was her like giving back to the community. And what I'm telling you, we volunteered at a food pantry, like packing up these boxes or whatever. And you know what's funny is I looked around and everyone's like condition suddenly went away. No one's worried about being anxious. There's not this crippling anxiety, this crippling this and that, loneliness, all this other stuff, because everyone's focus was, hey, there's going to be some hungry people. I believe it was around a holiday or something like that. Maybe it was 4th of July or whatever. It was something that we were doing this, boxing up this huge thing for. And it's like, look, we want to make sure that these kids and these families don't go without something great and for this holiday. And I think it was like post-pandemic. And I don't know if I'm in Atlanta, so I did a lot of work with the Atlanta Mission. And during the pandemic, even though everybody on social media is looking good, there's a lot of people that look good that are still going into the shelters and stuff like that to get a warm meal. There are still lots of people that are looking for food banks. They're just not posting about it. So, and I'm saying that because their need went up, like had tripled during that time for just people. Maybe they don't need to live in the shelter, but they have to go to a shelter to get a warm meal that day. So, and while everyone is contributing, one of the things that I noticed was that everyone's little isms were gone. And so that might be something that you're neglecting, that's a part of your life's vision, that's in your spirit, that you really want to do, that you're neglecting because you chose something else that takes up so much of your time. But you'd be way happier if, yeah, you did work over here and you did work at this place, but this place isn't so demanding in that way to where you have that ability to contribute and give back. And maybe that's the place you were meant to meet your spouse, your life partner, was while you were on assignment and doing what it is that you're supposed to be doing. And so as you build this life vision, the second portion of that is, and I have this in the course, and like I said, is because I've met so many people that built a vision, and the hardest wall that they had of holding them back was their spouse or people in their lives not supporting. And we oftentimes think that the reason that person isn't supporting is that they're not supporting us, when really we never really communicated the vision. So now it just looks like you're always at work because this person doesn't know what you're building, and they don't know what they plan to gain from that. They don't know any timelines. They don't know what it's going to take. So it's one thing to ask someone to make a huge sacrifice, and for that sacrifice to seem like it's forever. And it's another thing to say, look, can we sacrifice this for 24 months? But after 24 months, this is what's going to happen. Well, that's something that I can sign up for a lot easier than just this perpetual, this perpetual sacrifice of nothingness, and nothing ever changes. And wow, is this the way my life is going to be forever? Not, I'd rather not. Let me bow out. And it's because you can't communicate a vision that you haven't defined yourself. And so if you're kind of walking through, figuring it out, and you're hoping everyone comes along with you, they could, but it's a lot easier to get someone to commit to your vision when they know what it is that they're committing to. People have to know what it is that they're committing to, but you got to put in that time to really define it, because you cannot communicate and articulate something that you haven't defined for yourself. And so if I were to ask you, what's your vision? You should be able to tell it to me offhand. Hey, what's your life vision? Well, I want to become a lawyer. That's not a life vision. That's an occupation. Okay, you become a lawyer for what? To do what? How is that going to change your world? How is that going to change someone else's world? Because it's the ability to answer those questions that are going to continue to push you through when things get hard. And that's the thing about when you have a compelling vision and you've defined it for yourself. When you go into business and you go and do the things like I was talking about before, when things get hard, you don't just bow out and move on to the next thing, because it's the answers to those questions that are going to say that. Like one of the things I like about watching, and I've seen this through YouTube shorts, but watching like the process of Kim Kardashian saying she wants to be a lawyer, right? This is like a high mountain, because it's like she has all of these different things going on. No, I don't know her personally, but she has all these different things going on, and it's like she's got to etch out this little space right there to make this work. And I really believe that the reason she hasn't given up on it is for two reasons. One is that most people don't believe that she can do it. And I don't think that she likes anyone to watch her fail. But I think the second reason that she has a strong desire to do it is because she really has a desire to help people who have been falsely incarcerated. And when you give up, when you have a vision and a purpose behind the vision, if you give up, you're also giving up on all the people that could be impacted by the vision. And that's why it's important to where it's just that extra steam, and it's the extra steam that you need to stay motivated even when things get hard, because things always get hard. No matter what you do, you're going to have to face a Goliath. No matter what you do, you're going to have to face a Pharaoh, especially if what you're doing is important. Another thing that I'm going to say is anytime you stand up to a Goliath or a Pharaoh or a king and you speak truth to power, expect to have to go on the run. Don't expect that everything's going to be cool afterwards. People don't like that. And it doesn't mean it doesn't need to be done, but you have to prepare yourself. You have to prepare yourself. You might not get invited to Thanksgiving. And what I'm saying is you have to prepare your heart and you have to prepare your life to be able to do that. Look, if you go and you're like, you know what, there's some mess happening at my job, I'm going to tell the truth about it. Already have your resume out there. Have some money saved. There's been times I've had conversations with bosses of mine that I'm like, look, if you fire me today after that, I'm prepared. I'm good. But what I'm not going to do is sit here and lie. And what I'm not going to do is be the person that's like, yeah, everything's fine. Meanwhile, everything's going to hell. Because if you're the person who sees it, you might be the person that's called to fix it or at least to speak on it. But just because you speak on it doesn't mean there won't be any sort of retribution. Have some money saved. Yeah, have some money saved. And know that God's going to take care of you because he likes truth and justice. Um, like, even when you think about Moses, he went to Pharaoh and took and left with the money and the people. So he left with the money and the slaves. So that means like the people of Egypt were so afraid that they started giving the soon to be Israelites, the Hebrew people, all their stuff, like their gold, whatever, like just get all these locusts and everything out of our lives. Look, y'all take this, take your money, y'all just going somewhere. So they left with gold and the people. So he took away the money and their abilities to make more money. So that means you're at a complete standstill. So some of you, your purpose is to be that advocate and to be the person that stands up, and you just have to expect to have to go on some type of run afterwards. Period. David had to go on a run from Saul for doing what he was supposed to do. I got to go and run from you. I got to go on the run from you because you're jealous about the thing that you asked me to do, but because I'm getting a little too much shine, you're upset. Sometimes your greatness will make you have to go on the run too. And it doesn't mean you're running from that person, but meaning like you just got to make a new move. You got to switch some things up and wait for the next point of elevation. But not having that conversation will still keep you in a low place. So have the conversations with people about your vision. Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's, the reason I tell you guys this is to not scare you, but if you're on this live, you're a leader. Like, I just believe God always brings me the people who need to hear what I have to say. And because this has been something I was supposed to talk about since Monday and I haven't. And then even I woke up today and it was like, okay, yes, I'm gonna do it. I'm talking about it. Okay, I'm gonna get on. Yes, I'm about to get showered. Let me do whatever I need to do. But people don't mind negatives, they just hate surprises. And so I don't want you to be surprised when these things happen. I want you to be prepared. I don't want you to be fearful. There's two things that are strong in the demonic, in the occult. Two main emotion states that are there. And one is hate and the other one is fear. So if you have someone that operates with a lot of fear, or you're around people and they create a lot of fear, you already know who they belong to. If they got to instill fear of you also, and it ain't the fear of God, you already know who they belong to. And it's not the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So I don't want you to be fearful. And I don't want you to hate the people. What you have to do is just prepare yourself and just know, like, look, this situation was temporary. Maybe I'm just in this place to answer somebody's prayers to where things will change. So where even if you get rid of me because I spoke up and I confronted the issue, I might have set some other people free. Because there's been times where I've walked in a room, I've left the room hated, but some other people got free because the right person heard it. And they made changes. And even though I'm no longer in that situation, the people that are still left in that situation are doing well. But it takes a lot of maturity. It takes a lot of maturity to operate that way. But it also comes with the awareness of over and over and over again, we see that when great leaders speak a powerful truth to a king that king doesn't like, they have to go on the run in some form or fashion. Have your resume ready. Have your money saved. This is also why you don't spend everything that you get and you reinvest in yourself, because you have options. Like, people are asking me, like, oh, some of my friends are like, oh, are you going to buy another house? Da, da, da. I'm like, I like my house. We're renovating in my house. And to be honest, I don't want to work in a way to where, like, the only way you ever watch celebrities get canceled? The only way you can truly cancel them is if they need you. So some of these people should be getting canceled, but they have to be quiet when they're supposed to be speaking up, because their lifestyle depends on your agreement. That's not a space of truth. Right. I don't ever want to live and have a lifestyle that requires the agreement of the masses, because the masses be wrong en masse. And a lot of times what they want you to do is to put you in a position, right? If they make you, they can break you. What they want to do is put you in a position to where now you're being puppeteered, because you've created this life that requires their agreement and requires you to stay in line. And I don't ever want to be in that position. So I'd rather just keep a little bit more, to where if I want to say F you and be done, I'm just going to be done. Like there's no better freedom than the freedom of the ability to walk away from something that isn't serving you and isn't serving your purpose and isn't serving your God. Right. They want to be able to have leverage. And so that's the point of me coming on here and talking to you guys about your vision and ways that you can just bring your ideas to life, bring your businesses to life, is so that way you have freedom and that you have the power to really live the life that you want to live and not live the life that people say you have to. Right? Maybe you make a lot of money and you move into a celebrity trailer, or they don't call them that, manufactured home. And maybe you spend the rest of your life volunteering, and you have, like, a good friend of mine, her mom sold her house and bought like a little mini house, and now she works remotely and she spends most of her time visiting her grandkids and vacationing. You can do that when you don't have all this stuff on your back, when you don't have this monkey on your back. You can do that. You can't do that when you've bought into what they're selling and you've ran up your lifestyle so high that if you miss a day of work, everything falls. That's not freedom. That's not freedom. That is another version of slavery and indentured servanthood. Freedom is the ability to be able to say no. Freedom is the ability to say, I've had enough. And when you've had enough, you can leave without fear. And not having to take what they're dealing out to you just because you've ran up this lifestyle. The goal of business is to make money so you can serve your purpose. And people are like, when people talk, I hate, like, the devil made me do it, or the devil is attacking me, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, it's not attacking you. All he's trying to do is get you so distracted, and he knows what you like, to get you so distracted and to get you running around so much that you never have time to serve God. You never have time to fulfill your assignment. You never have time to serve your purpose, and you never have time to give back. You never have time to feed the hungry. You never have time to spend with your kids to make sure they don't turn into psychos and serial killers and sociopaths. And you never have time to have that extra conversation with your spouse or your child, and these apps assist as well. Yeah. And you even have to decide how you're going to use it for that. Like, I'm not against people being on apps and everything like that, but you have to make sure that in every single way it's positively contributing towards your experience and the mindset you need to be in to fulfill your assignment. And I always take a hard look about what comes up on my timeline, because it lets me know where my priorities are. Is everything that I look at about my makeup and fashion? Does that mean, because some of these apps really testify as to what has our attention, to where if everything that's coming up on my timeline is about how to make myself better, how to lose weight, um, how to make sure I'm fashion forward or whatever, then that means all of my mindset is going into how my appearance. What is my assignment? Where has God anointed me? Okay, yes, beauty is a gift, and I think someone should use it well and still steward that well, right? But what if God anointed my mouth? What if He anointed my hands? What if He did all these things, and I'm putting all of my time, into the outward, and I haven't done any work on the inward, so that way what's in me can come out and manifest, because that's when someone really starts um, experiencing the opportunities that they want to experience. That's when someone's life really starts taking off, is when that thing inside of me starts coming on the outside. But you have to really massage and work that thing that's on the inside so it can come on the outside. And you got to put a lot of time and attention into that. Like one of the areas that has been my thing for this year, that I knew God gave me as an assignment, was really making sure that I'm nurturing my gifts. And one thing I've learned is that for many of us, we treat our gifts like the groceries we buy and never cook. We just let them spoil in the refrigerator. And then we wonder why our lives aren't in the places that we want them to and we expect them to. But, our gifts will make room for us. So, but if we're not making any room for our gifts, then we're not getting into any rooms. You're not getting it. You're not getting into any rooms, because you haven't fostered that thing that you've been given. That's when earlier today, Breakthrough 101 is taking what it is that you have, right, and stewarding what you have, getting it in order, so that way God will anoint it. And then that anointing is where the breakthrough truly happens. But that order has to come, and you have to value that thing, and you have to be in the right heart space to where before you think about expansion, what about cleaning up what you have? Before you think about how can I expand my business, well, before we expand, can we keep this thing from imploding? Which may require for us to do some minimizing. It may require for us to do some additional training. It may require for us to do some extra work, all of these different things. But it's really, really important. But one thing I always teach people, God always asks us for what we have, and to release what it is that we have. Releasing our gifts, releasing that business, releasing, whatever. And then He'll add that extra anointing. Like I said earlier, Moses started off with a staff. The staff wasn't magical. God anointed it. Hey, don't put that in the ground. We're gonna go ahead and expand this, so I'm gonna make a way where there wasn't one before. But because you were obedient and you followed with the plan and you stewarded what we were supposed to do, and you got everything in order, then we're gonna go to the next level. And every level that you guys are trying to reach comes with another set of orders. So getting things in order is not just organization. It's, this is what I'm supposed to do with this that I have. And then once you figure out, hey, this is what I have, this is what I'm supposed to do what I have, you execute it, you promote it until you get new orders. And that's one of the things I love, especially I'm learning spiritually. God doesn't give us all of our orders at once. It's this may start off with two things. And it's like, okay, you finished that. All right, do these. Meaning he doesn't give us things in a way that overwhelms us, that we can't handle. It's always going to be, okay, this is your set of orders. Okay, you got there. All right, when you get to the promised land, this is how I want this altar built. Or when you get here, When you leave Egypt, this is what you're going to bring with you. This is what you're going to need. This is what you're going to leave behind. Okay, cool. So we know that we're bringing this, we're leaving this behind, and we're leaving. Okay, 3 things. We can handle that. That's why it's so upsetting when people don't follow just those minimals when it comes to orders. That's why it's so upsetting. So So just look at what you have and figure out, how do I get it in order? And then what's the next level that can take that? What is my set of orders for this? And then what you do is you capitalize and you maximize on that level. You take it to the next level, and then you get your next set. Okay, how do I get now, what this is what I've gained. How do I get this in order? And what are my next orders for this? And then that's how you build from one place to one place, or from you open up one location to the next location, or you go from maybe your business making 5 figures to 6 figures to 7 to 8 to 9 to 10 into whatever. It's just step by step, line by line. And the cool thing is, when you follow an order, especially one that God gave you, it's gonna be like boom, you're gonna hit, it's gonna hit big, and now you gotta scramble to get this next level in order. And you do your thing. And what are my orders? How do I keep this? And then it just keeps releasing until you've completely fulfilled the assignment. But what you can't do is you can't get upset at the process. But this is the one thing I would recommend is take my vision course. I give this course to Fortune 500 companies. They pay me big money to come in to teach them these things. Take the course. If it's good enough for millionaires and for millionaire CEOs, meaning they don't like they're millionaires and their businesses are pushing billions. Literally, I've given this course to CEOs like that. CEOs of your favorite music producers who make 6 figures on a song, who are thinking about, how can I take my business to the next level? How can I create a legacy? I've gone into, different entertainment companies and taught this, working and taught this to artists that you hear on the radio, artists that you hear on TV shows like Insecure, teaching this. There's a young lady that I taught this course to. She took it on one time I was teaching it live, and literally everything that she put in her vision plan ended up happening the next year. So I'm watching Insecure one night, and she put this on her vision plan that she wanted one of her songs to be on Insecure. I'm watching Insecure one night in the bed. I think my husband was in the living room or whatever, and her song comes on. That's like the best moment for me, as for what I do, is watching my people's stuff blow up. So I'm sitting in the bed. I've got my Sunday night, because Insecure came on Sunday night. Got my Sunday night, we chilling, get ready for Monday morning, watching my Insecure, ready to be mad, because I always be mad at the end of the episode. And her song comes on, and I'm just like, yes! Now, anyone who's watching me would think that I'm crazy, because it wasn't a big moment in the show. It was just a very vibey moment. But I just remember that was a part of her vision plan. That was a part of her goal, was to have one of her songs on an episode of Insecure, and just continue to watch the rest. So the last thing I'm going to say is, there's 2 ways that if you need to work with me, and you want to get specific about your life, the first place I would start is by taking that vision course. And then if you want to talk specifically about your business, schedule a call, and we'll do a discovery call, and I'll give you everything that I have within that time period of the discovery call that can help you take that next step, and to get things in order, just that next level, get your systems in order for that next level. And then if you want to work, once you've implemented those things, if you want to work on a longer period of time, then we can maybe work out 30 days or 90 days or something like that. But all in all, thank you guys for being on here. That's so awesome. Thank y'all for getting 6,000 likes. Maybe this is the most likes I've ever had on live. I don't know, but I appreciate y'all. God bless y'all. Have a great Thanksgiving. Still watch what you eat. And, y'all just make me a little discovery plate, just a little sampler. All right, bye.